hold on. Wait a second. Oh, just a second, guys. Sorry about that. Let's see. There's a bird. Okay. No, just kidding, guys. Hey, my name's Ryan. Welcome to Youth Open Shop Live. We're here to answer your questions and help you learn more about bikes. And so this week, we have a very special episode. I'm standing in front of the green screen right now. We're going to have all sorts of green screen shenanigans. We apologize. We are a little bit late today because we had a green screen shenanigan. Darn green screens, they got us again. But this week, we've got a really special thing. Now, this is a stream where we go over a question every week where you can learn more about bikes and kind of decide what kind of bikes are best for you. Awesome. Thanks, Donna. Donna says this is cool. We agree. We're having a lot of fun here. So this is a weekly stream. Like I said, last week we went over the history of bikes and like where the different parts of the bikes come from, like the handlebars or the seat or the wheels or the rocks on the ground. Just kidding. The rocks on the ground have always been there. But we're going to go over today what kind of bike is right for you. There's lots of different kinds of bikes. And Dustin here, he's having a lot of fun. He's going to go on the green screen, and I'm going to go off camera now and go talk more about these bikes. 1 second, guys. All right, without any further ado, a giant can. Dustin! Oh, he's so cool. All right, as you can see, Dustin, he's having a great old time. He's at the skate park riding his BMX bike. Now, we're going to go over a couple different kinds of bikes here, and the first one, obviously, is a BMX bike. Now, first off, safety is very important. You'll notice that Dustin here, he's wearing a helmet, and if you're new at skate park too, it's also important to wear knee pads, elbow pads. I can tell you, falling on your elbows on concrete, and masks. If you're out in public, always wear a mask, just keep other people safe, keep yourself safe. And that's kind of a big deal right now. But safety is always a big deal. So, now you're seeing Dustin here, he's doing all sorts of cool tricks. Now, if you can't do any cool tricks, don't worry. Our goal today is just to help you find the right bike so that way you can get started riding a bike. But let's go over real quick. Dustin, if you'll pull up right there in the middle of the skate park, right there, and we'll go over this bike and what it's good for. Now, first off, you'll notice that the frame of the bike, it's pretty small. Like Dustin's pretty big, but he's still riding this big old this little bike. He's like, that's not a kid's bike. Well, the reason for that is it's lighter and you can do more tricks with it. You can flip it around. You can, like you saw earlier, he was jumping it. You can spin the handlebars on some bikes. You have to be careful though. Sometimes the brake lines will get tangled up. Not on this one though. Now, you'll also notice that the wheels are pretty small. But the reason for that is that you're able to go faster on those little wheels. Well, when you're in a small environment like a skate park. If you're in a skate park and you have big old giant wheels, you won't feel the bumps as much, but you won't have as much control. You'll also notice the handlebars, they're raised up a little bit, so that way he can still control the bike without, Dustin, show him what it would be like if you had to control the bike with the handlebars all the way down where they're at the frame of the bike. He'd be way down here. And that's no fun. Not as much control there. Obviously, he's holding the fork of the bike. That's not very good at all. All right. So that's it for the BMX bike. Oh, one more thing. Sorry. Back up there, Dustin. Beep, beep, beep. All right. The tires. You'll notice these ones are pretty knobby, but they're also flat and smooth. So that's because you'll notice behind them, the skate park, it's really smooth in there. Now, fortunately, we're not really at the skate park right now. We're at a green screen. That's a really cool skate park. I think that's the one in Venice Beach. I don't even know if they allow BMX bikes there. But point is, for smooth surfaces, you want smooth tires. So that one's got smooth tires, and I had no idea that Dustin was riding the bike there, and he just did a wheelie. All right, wheelie out, Dustin. All right, next up. Let's go over, so that's kind of like if you want to play around on a bike, BMX bike's right for you. Just kind of have fun there. Next up, let's say you just want to get around town, you know? Oh, let's get the mountain bike. As you can tell, when you're on the mountain and there's giant birds, you need to be mobile. Just kidding. Let me get rid of the bird. There. All right. Now, fun fact, one of the guys, who was it that went there in the Grand Canyon lately? Was it Irv? Yeah, one of our friends went down the Grand Canyon. So this is a picture of the Grand Canyon, and if you're going over rocks and lots of bumpy area, you're going to want something that'll grip and that'll be there. Now, first thing you'll notice, he's bouncing on that bike, and that bike looks like it's bending, and it's kind of squeaking a little bit too. But that's what's called full suspension on a bike. You'll notice here, point to it with your hand there, the bottom, the full. So right there, as he goes down, that suspension makes the back tire go up and down, and then the front has the two suspension points on the fork. Here, show off the front suspension there, Dustin. See, the front wheel can go up and down too. So that way you can go over big rocks, you can go over lots of bumps, and it won't wear out your arms, it won't wear out your back. And you won't, and you probably won't get thrown off the bike as easily. But the other cool thing about mountain bikes, go ahead, Dustin, is that they're really versatile. You can do lots of fun stuff with them. I tried to find the lightest weight mountain bike in the shop for Dustin, but okay. He says, hold on. He wants to show something off. If you hear a crash. Yeah, Dustin's riding bikes right past the camera, which is doing really well, considering. So, there we go. That's why you wear a helmet, guys. All right. So the cool thing about mountain bikes is that they're super versatile. So that way you can go down mountains, you can go over rocks, and a good mountain bike, it won't break when you like absolutely just hit like some huge path or like some huge rock and jump off and you land straight on your wheels.
So that one had suspension, this one's good.
Oh, here's another option here. This one here actually doesn't have suspension. And I think we'll get to that bike here in a second too. But that's also a very good mountain bike. Not all mountain bikes need to have suspension to be able to go off-road. This one's set up more for like a crossover between cruiser and mountain bike. As you can see, it's got the smooth, thin tires like the cruiser, but it's like tough, like a mountain bike. So, you know, you could go off the, like, let's say there you have a dirt road. That's a good bike for that. Yeah, look at that. He's just heroically looking away from the sunset like you do. But here, let's go. Let me go. Oh, so yeah. Oh, okay. Good point. All bikes here, like bikes are super versatile, meaning you can swap out parts. This might have started as a mountain bike, but now it's a city bike. And you can kind of mix and match parts on lots of bikes and make the bike the way you want it. So that's a cool thing about bikes. That's what I really like. And here's a pretty common one, a mountain bike that turned into a city bike. But, well, we've got tons of these. They're usually pretty inexpensive too. But let's go. If you could pull up that mountain bike with full suspension, I want to go over one more thing. Now, important part about mountain bikes that sometimes BMX bikes have is that they have really grippy tires. Now these tires have lots of studs on them. What would you call those? Knobs. You just got knobs all over the tire. Ooh, that's out of focus. Back up there a bit. Perfect. All right. So those are, you can get tires even fatter than that. The fatter the tire, the more bumps you'll be able to go over without feeling them. That's just kind of a general rule. So this one's also got lots of grip on it, so that way you can go through gravel, sometimes even sand if you have a grippy enough tire, and you can keep going. All right, so I just wanted to cover that real quick. And you'll notice the handlebars are really wide, so that way you can have lots of control, so you can like dodge between rocks, going all fast, you know, keep your feet on the pedals, but, you know, do what you like. Anyway, let's go ahead, and I think we're going to go ahead and show off a really like a really popular bike that most people don't. When I was like in school, like in grade school, I just had a mountain bike because I thought it was cool. But the kind of riding I did was probably more in line with this next kind of bike here. So here, let's show off this here purple. Oh, he wants to get the blue one. He likes blue. We're going to show off this kind of bike here. This here is what's called a road bike. Now this road bike is pretty old, but guess what? Road bikes, they last for ages if they're built well and if you take care of them. So if you get an old road bike and it's in good shape, you can use it. Like, it doesn't matter if you're, if it's like, oh man, that thing's just old and covered in spider webs, you can clean that up and you can get that running again. And it'll be as good as the day, like it'll be just as good as one you can buy today. And a ton cheaper. So this old bike, this is a Trek 1000. When was it built? Like 80s, 90s?
I talked about the different hand positions on the handlebar.
Oh, he wants to go over the handlebars. That's where he's getting. So now, when you're riding on the road, you want to be comfortable and you want to be able to go fast without being slowed down. Because on a mountain bike, you're going downhill mostly, or you're going uphill, but on a road bike, you're going straight most of the time. So one of the biggest challenges is the wind. So if you're sitting straight up, the wind is hitting you right in the chest and just slowing you down like a big old sail. But if you're ducked down and all like down in the position, road biking, you can be going and the wind will just go straight over you. And you know, I was kind of hoping for this part we could get you the really funky helmet we have, but you'll notice that the helmet he has all sorts of cuts in it and is really streamlined. And that's exactly to keep the wind from like catching you and going over your head. I mean, and so that way it just goes over your head and past you without causing any problems. But if you, for the road bike, the other thing is you'll notice the frame, there's not much on it. It's super thin. It's like just a few bars. That's just because on a road bike, you don't need much. You just, and the frame isn't the only thing that's thin. Look how thin those tires are. They're like ice skates. And the reason for that is because you want to ice skate down the road. And you just skate down the road as fast as you can. Now the downside to that is that if you hit any rocks or go through gravel or sand, you're more than likely just going to go straight over the side. I've done that so many times. But if you plan on going long distances over pavement, like even if you're going like 10 miles, 10 miles sounds like a lot, but it's not that much for a road bike. It is Dustin says it's the most efficient way. So it's a way you can get there and you won't be as tired. Like if you went the same distance on a mountain bike on the road, you'd be more tired than if you just went on a road bike. So road bikes, if you're going on the road, and this is something I wish I had known, but that's a good thing. All right, now we want to do a quick bonus bike. Dun, 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 dun. Here, let me help Dustin get this out here. It's on what we call a trainer. All right, let me back this part up here. Oops. Okay, so go ahead and show that off, Dustin. All right, now look at that. You'd be like, oh man, that's such a relaxed bike. Like he doesn't have to do anything, he's just going slow. But guess what? This is called a recumbent bike. And you'll notice it's got little wheels and a laid back chair. That's like its whole thing. You pedal in front and you just lay back and you go. But guess what? Recumbent bikes are faster than any other bike. As a matter of fact, in a lot recumbent bikes are actually ruled out in races. Oh, Donna points out, that looks like the street Miss Doubtfire lived. Well, it's San Francisco and a very, very famous street. It's not the street with the very steep hills, but I just found some free stock footage and I thought that was fun. But the cool thing about So the cool thing about that is that the wind, instead of hitting you in the chest, it goes straight over you. So that means people on recumbent bikes can go much faster than people on road bikes. So some of the world speed records for human-powered vehicles have been set on recumbent bikes that have like shells on the outside, like they look like bullets. And that's really cool. So a recumbent bike, if you're able to get one, they're a little trickier to take care of because they have lots of moving parts. Let me keep pedaling, Dustin, and I'll try to show off the chain. So you'll notice the chain goes around here, up here, around the pedals, and then back again. So the chain goes all over the place. Yeah, so it's twice the length of a normal chain because it is quite literally two chains linked together and they go the whole length of the bike. And there's also other kind of recumbent bikes too, like if you don't, let's say you can't use your legs because you're in a, like something happened to your legs, you can have them that are powered by your hands. You can have them that have 3 wheels. Those are pretty common too. So yeah, that's kind of one of those cool things. We didn't cover this last time we went over the types of bike, but Dustin insisted that he show off his cool recumbent bike. And I don't know if you can hear that in the background. It's kind of noisy. So let's go ahead and, oh, maybe you can't hear it. That's kind of nice. Yeah, you know, hopefully got the good microphone. All right, so I'm just going to let Dustin pedal off into the distance, into the San Francisco sunset, uphill, as you can tell, and he's just going to keep pedaling. I want to thank you guys for joining in. My name's Ryan, this is Dustin, and we're here to answer your questions, help you learn more about bikes. So be sure to tune in. We're going to keep doing these episodes based on questions that you have and different bike problems that people have and how to fix them, and other bike fun facts too. So join in then, and stay tuned. Again, you can go to the link tiny.cc/YOS-Live, and we will be streaming these every Tuesday. Thanks again. You guys go out there, ride your bikes, be safe, and have a great day.